Hey folks, I'm Wolf from Inquisitorcrafts. In this episode I'm standing in our staircase because I wanted to show you our friend Balzac der Bullenfresser. And in this video I'm going to show you how I made him. So, let's craft! The template I used is the one from Kamuicosplay for the bone skull helmet. I traced everything onto 7mm EVA foam and cut it out with my box cutter. First I made the main part of the skull, each side separately, and then glued everything together, and after that I started to make the horns. And while gluing both sides together, I realized I will have a problem with the camera space because the head is already really big. Before I glued the upper and the lower side of the jar together, I take a 7mm piece of foam and give it some texture for the tongue part. And because the dragon can't have enough horns, I printed out again a couple of horns in smaller size and cut them out of the paper and traced them on the foam. Cut the foam out, glued everything together and put it on the head. Now that the base part of the head is finished, I'm start to adding some foam clay and give some texture to the downside of the horns. And for that I'm using a silicone carving tool and wet the foam clay before, so I can push it into the structure I wanted to have. With even more foam clay I'm giving more structure to the jaw, and then do the same to the nostrils. On the tongue I tried to make some veiny parts, and on the downside I tried out some patterns. I think they might look cool. I had to switch the camera around because the head is just too big. And now I'm using more foam clay on the head to give the whole head a structure, and my lovely little son is helping me, so the little hand is not mine. And I appreciated the help. And I always try to include my son in the process of making so stuff, especially by the dragon, because I hope that he won't be scared afterwards when he knows how it is all done, and maybe he can do later some own stuff. Well, more foam clay on the whole head, using a carving tool to get some structure into it, and because my silicone carving tool was too soft to get through the foam clay, I just used a chopstick to get deeper lines into it and try to make the look of something scale-like on the head. For the eyes I made out of plaster half rounds and glued them to the head. I was always afraid that I mess up this part, and if the eyes will not be symmetrical, the dragon will look goofy. But I think it turned out pretty nice. After the glue was dry, I used more foam clay to cover up the eyes, and here it was also very important that I get both sides symmetrical. And after the eyes were done, I used some hot glue to make more veins into the mouth and give the whole piece there a little bit more of structure. And after that I carved a lot of teeth out of EVA Foam, but unfortunately I don't have any footage about that. I let the foam clay dry for about 3 days and then primed everything with liquid gum, and I applied about 3 thin layers. For the base color we used copper from Dekofux. But since building a Dragonhead is very much work, I had to outsource some of my work on cheap labor forces. So my wife is painting the dragon about 2 to 3 times with the copper. And the second layer is already looking really nice. And for the horns my wife is using from Dekofux the rust color. But you know how it is with cheap workforces, they never deliver on time. So I decided to take the head back to me and started to airbrush it. Alright, let's do some airbrushing on the dragon's head. But first I wanted to paint the teeth and the little spikes. For that I already made some masking tape on the dragon. And for the color I wanted to use some kind of light brownish, maybe with some yellow, I don't know. Taking light brown and maybe a little bit of yellow, putting that together in the airbrush, and if it got the color I wanted to have, then I'm going to start. So, alright. So, I don't know if you can see this. Yeah. Maybe plugging in would help. Okay, let's give it a try. Now to the teeth. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry and then hit it with a paintbrush, I guess, with a little bit more white. Alright, I'm then starting to do the eye, but I wanted to blend in a little bit of gray, brownish tone down here. And I wanted to try if I could use a little bit of red to make the scales a little bit more textured. So, since the airbrush is already here, let's clean it up real quick and use some metallic red. With a little bit of black, I could imagine that that would look nice. Okay, so I'm using the metallic colors because the base coat here is also a metallic color. I think it looks pretty cool on the dragon. Let's see if we can make some nice details. Yet again, I do not know if that is going to work. Yeah, making masking tape on the eye was pretty stupid. Now the whole liquid gum is off. It has come off. I have to see what I'm trying to do there. For start. So, now, taking a brush and making a green wash and hitting the teeth a little bit more. Another wash. And let's see. I'm trying to get the color into the cracks. I'm taking some yellow paint. More dye. Okay, now hitting the teeth. For the lower part of the teeth I'm using a brownish color and get a little bit lighter in the tone the further I go up. Okay. Oh shit. Now I'm hitting it with a heat gun to dry and then make a black wash. Now I'm hitting it with a heat gun to dry and then make a black wash. For the black wash I have some black color and water in a spray can. Starting on the top. Now I'm hitting it with a clear coat, mostly on the teeth and the eyes. After that I decide if there is more that needs to be done. Getting the clear coat right now. Alright, I am using Luca's Sprüh film. It's a clear coat. And then I'm doing this one right now on the inside. I'm going to use my mask. The old dragon is finished. I made out of EVA foam a shield plate and cut it off with my laser cutter, and so I did with the lettering for the name and painted it real quick and put it on our wall in the staircase. Alright, we arrived at the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really did. I loved making Balzac because I could channel all my creativity into it, and it was a really awesome build. So, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. If you want to, you can follow Inquisitorcrafts at Instagram, and please remember, be excellent to each other. Bye!